Alright, hello there ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back for another rant or whatever this really is. Now, first I would just like to mention that right now, as of this day, I'm going on holiday for 3 weeks. I will try to have content rolling in the background while I'm gone, but we'll see how that will go. Hopefully I will be able to get enough content for you guys. But before I left, I wanted to talk about something kind of important. And that is actually esport journalism. Because esport journalism is something that we really need. We need to have our content covered. We need to have one sort of an outlet to the people. And my favorite esport journalist is actually a guy named Richard Lewis, which it seems like you either hate him or you love him, and that is kind of his way. And definitely, no matter how much I disagree with his opinion on a lot of things, and from time to time even he will be giving you misinformation because he is misinformed. But I don't really mind that, because I will of course be able to read up on the actual news story myself, and so on and so forth. But what Richard Lewis does is that he says the things that most people would not want to say. Because right now, within the League of Legends scene, there is so many things that we can't talk about, that both players, casters, and everyone on the sort of payroll by Riot cannot even talk about without fearing for their contract or money. Because within the Riot contract, to at least the LCS players, it's an non-clausal saying be nice, or it's kind of the be nice part, which say that you're not allowed to speak ill about Riot. And henceforth, what we see is a situation like Broken Shard, when he was sent back to Israel, if I'm not mistaken, because his visa had run out. And it was clear that it was Riot's fault for not giving the players enough time, not giving them enough of a heads up to really sort this all out, all neatly, all nice, and so on and so forth. But what happened was that because of this clausal, he is forced to kind of say, no, it's not Riot's fault. And he were on the Unfiltered podcast, which is kind of this news esport podcast every week. And he just had to defend Riot, even though everyone kind of knew that it was Riot's fault. And Riot have been fucking up a lot with visas lately, even though they were waving their dick about when it came to saying, oh, we have now gotten visas for esport, sports visas and so forth. And they did that for a long time, and yet we see visa problems all the time. With Broken Shard, with Gambit Gaming, 4 of the players had to be subs. Alex Ick had to do it as well. So we still have visa problems there. And with people, both players and casters and people that are basically employed or want to have a good relation with Riot, since Riot is the monopoly. If you're not a part of Riot, or if you're not part of LCS and whatnot, you're fucked. So everyone that wants to have a good relationship with Riot, they can't speak about this. And that is where we need the esport journalists to be. We need them to be all about, because a journalist does not need to be on the payroll. They do not need to be all up in the butt of, for example, Riot, because they can just write about it anyway. And I think that is a really important thing here. We want to be able to actually see the news and see kind of the reality for what it is, without going all just through this mess of people and players covering up for Riot, because it's a part of their contract. So I would definitely say that this is something that needs to be changed. We need more people that can speak up about Riot, and I'm not shitting on Riot here. I'm not saying that Riot is the ultimate bad thing. I'm not saying that Riot is evil or anything. But they make mistakes like every other company, and we need to be able to speak up about these problems so that they can get fixed, instead of just being like, no, it's not Riot, and then they're like, yeah, it's not us, blame someone else. And then the world kind of just progresses on. We need to be able to discuss issues, because that is what really drives society, and that is what drives everyone forward to improving. No matter what society it is, if you have an issue and you're not discussing it, it might just be left as an issue. It might not even ever get solved. And solved, even. And that is important. It is important that we can do so. And esport journalism is a way to do this. It is a way to bring up issues and, of course, to talk about the hard topics and put the facts straight, the facts that need to be discussed. So, right now with the ban of on-gamers from Reddit, it will be hard. They were the most professional, the most efficient, and probably the best when it came to production value and other things when it came to esport journalism. And they are now site-wide banned from Reddit, which was kind of probably 80% or so of their traffic came from Reddit. So what are they supposed to do now? Unless they rebrand, they will probably shut down, which overall is a massive hit to esports. So then you will have stuff like Daily Dot, of course, and their esport parts. And then we have the Esport Express. I'm joking, okay, that they will not cover anything. Because they're a fun article. They have fun articles, of course. But I mean, there are so many like issues that occur when you are in lack of journalists. And you can just take a look at the society as well. In societies where there are kind of ban on anything offensive from journalists and the massive censorships, we see that the progression rate in the countries are terrible. They are living basically, and that happens mostly in countries that live in fear and so forth. Korea, for example. North Korea is a great example there, because they're not allowed to say whatever. The freedom of speech does not really exist there, and the censorship is massive. And we see what have happened to them. So, I'm not like comparing riots with Korea here, but I'm just saying that we need to be more open, and the fact that they have such a part within the contract that says just like you're not allowed to speak illy about riot, that is pretty sad. And I think we need to step up our game, get more information out there, and improve esport journalism. Thank you for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that you found this interesting enough and that I did not ramble on about bullshit like I usually do. Anyway, I hope you guys will have a great holiday. I know that I will. And I will see you guys next time.